Hi, you guys. Welcome in. Please contribute your energy. Even though you're watching this after I post, it somehow makes a difference. I don't get how these things work, but there's some collective energy that it helps if you plug in. All the images that came to me, or just the vibrational feel of it, was something coming to a head. And, where it's been maybe building and taking detours and, seeming to stop and then coming back. But eventually, in this scenario that I really felt, it was about something coming to a head. And I started thinking about what that might look like. And I got all these images of confrontation, how people engage or avoid it, what you hope to gain through that, what happens when you refuse any conflict, keep things safe and keep the peace. And it occurred to me, all these different modes of dealing with conflict, nice to have options. And then I was thinking about, you can walk away, one or both people. You can surrender. You can agree on some kind of truce. It can be a guerrilla war where it just goes kind of underground until pop out and make the hit when the other guy least expects it. It can be like a duel where it's very formal and there are agreed upon rules where you march 30 paces or the equivalent. And also just the option of stuffing it back in the box. And what are the costs of that? What are the bennies of that? The only other thing that popped up was, there's a way in which at least I get almost addicted to the drama. Is it going to happen? Is it going to unfold? When is it going to happen? All this sort of energy of agitation that comes from, really what's not present in your life. It's this weird inverse thing where you're not really responding to somebody who's there in the scenario I'm thinking about. It's somebody in your memory or somebody who you knew and you anticipate the relationship is going to change dramatically. And it all has an energy of, it's like watching a suspense movie. You're watching your own life unfold and what's going to happen next. Try to prepare yourself, brace yourself. And, the relationships that are in 3D sometimes have that quality of what next and anticipation, but very often, because the person is there in the flesh, some of that drama perhaps gets drained away. You're just together. Who's going to pick up the milk? How are we going to do the logistics of the children, or, do we have a scheduled date night, or all that stuff? Does the other person have bad breath? Do you fart in your sleep? Whatever it is, it's like suddenly, it can still be drama, but sometimes it's a really different, it's a boring drama. It doesn't mean we should opt out every time it gets into the mundane. Magic in the mundane. Okay, so all that being said, oh yeah, I forgot this. Hang on. I kept thinking I'm going to forget the Palo Santo, which really helps set the stage. the stage, you know. There's an aspect of this that's strange. And also magical. Go figure. Here we go. South, north, east, west. The cardinal directions. There's something so satisfying about that to me. I don't know, always makes me smile. I just bumped the mic. I think I'm going to put it on. When I listened to it the last time, it seemed like, can I do this without? I need a stage manager, you know, because I'm really focusing on other things. That might work. Let's see. If I whisper. So what's the engagement going to be like? Or will we just because that's a drama too. You know, if you're waiting for when does it begin? Was that a cannon I heard off in the background? You know, somebody sneaking up on me? Have I thought about the strategy enough? Have I, you know, blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah. Here we go. Four of Swords. That's healing up after the battle. This is a knight in armor. You know, he, she, they could be an air sign taking their rest. They just can't even talk about it now. This person is like this. You know, battle weary, battle fatigued. All those battle imageries that were coming to me. 7 of Wands. That's in battle too. That's feeling defensive, feeling ganged up on, feeling prodded to the very edge, things coming to a head. You know, do I aggress back against these? Because this is kind of a threat. These 7 Wands coming at this cat, this jaguar. You know, this animal could run away. This animal could go on the offensive. Right now they're in a defensive mode. Maybe feeling outnumbered. It's an unfair fight somehow, or it was. Okay, tell us more about this healing up after perhaps some kind of heartbreaking fight caused by defensiveness, or that caused you going forward to be defensive. You know, you need the space to heal. Non-engagement, going to ground in a way. And maybe you feel like you were pushed into it, 7 of Wands. 10 of Pentacles. It's interesting when I get a card I don't expect. You know, it's like a twist, a plot twist. There may be a plot twist. In some funny way, you may have been staving off. Wands are like staves. Or feeling defensive about the fact that you're not ready yet. You still need to heal, 4 of Swords. You know, to get yourself kind of untriggered after whatever this was. And in a way, staving off 10 of Pentacles? The long-term partnership? Some sort of situation that nurtures rather than threatens? Maybe there was too much of a you know, is this threatening me, or is this the safe place, the nurturing place? and taking a time out to figure it out. Four of Swords. Ten of Pentacles is a great card. You know, why would one fight off the safe environment? This is Judgment card in any other deck. You know, eventually, when you're in this kind of respite to heal, eventually you come out again. You know, this is a card of coming back to life. This is a card of almost like a near-death experience, is how I'm saying it. Or just feeling like, I surrender. I'm not fighting anymore. This might be, I'm not fighting anymore, even if somebody's trying to trigger me. You know, to poke at me to get a reaction. I don't really get it, but let's see. Well, what's the challenge? The Seven of Wands. What's making somebody feel defensive, or they felt defensive in the past because, well, it's the card of the wounded warrior. It can be no more. I'm done. Conversely, like a lot with tarot, the flip side is I'm not done. I'll summon the last strength I have to give this a second chance. To give myself a second chance, perhaps. Tell us about Ten of Pentacles, please. You know, Pentacles speak to life, to real life. And in Four of Swords, it's kind of coming out of a kind of post-traumatic, you know, brain state. Where you're all up in your head. And the challenge is, how do I come back into the world? Ten of Pentacles. You know, how do I give this a second chance? Wake up from my, I mean, because this person, Four of Swords person, is often depicted as in the tomb. I think it's wanting, it's about coming back to life. Yeah, Lovers. On awakening, on that Judgment card, is the Eight of Cups. A card of leaving or return. You know, we've got the geese, the migratory birds that seasonally come and go. It's a Cups energy, so it's about, you know, going in the direction of love, of the climate where you can thrive. But again, there's this sort of two ways of reading it. You know, I'm hanging in because I've made the choice for this connection. And remember I said there's the burps and the, you know, the person drives you nuts because of the way they chew or whatever it is. They take up too much of the bed, they sweat in the night, all the things that can bug you when you're actually living 3D. You know, skin-to-skin contact. You can get triggered by the little things, and they can accumulate to the point where you feel like, I can't stand this. I'm going to pack it in. But I think because of the Lovers card right next to it, the card of choice, the card of connection, this person is deciding to hang in. Deciding, sword energy, making the choice to stick it out. But then we have a card that might be interpreted as not sticking it out. This could really go either way, and of course it always can, because not only you have a choice, but so does the other partner. Whoever you're connected to here isn't necessarily a romantic relationship. We do have that Eight of Cups card. Card of connection. Tell me about lovers, please, and some clarification on where this might be going. I mean, we started out with all these options. It could be a truce, it could be a guerrilla war, it could be this, it could be that. 10 of Wands. After 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands. But 10 of Wands in this spread is going on lovers. Wrapping up a cycle, finding peace. This is a Tibetan lama or a monk, or, you know, somebody on a spiritual, like perhaps closing out a cycle, turning their back on conflict in order to go within and find peace. But it does provide a resolution to this, that wounded warrior energy. On 4 of Swords, we have King of Swords. There may be somebody who is recovering from a battle. I mean, swords are a weapon. You know, they speak to thought and communication and clarity or lack of clarity. King of Swords is somebody who really embodies that cerebral approach, you know, that analytical approach. And it may have gotten the King of Swords into some sort of trouble, some conflict, like a 3 of Swords situation that they're needing to retreat from till they recover. They got triggered. They got triggered. They felt defensive. So they took a step back, you know, to analyze it. They removed themselves from the situation in order to clear their head. And for King of Swords, that would be really important. That clear head, sword energy. On 10 of Pentacles, we have Alchemist. In this deck, that's Temperance. The blending of the 2 cups. The peace. Temperance is peace. It's calming things down. It's, you know, finding middle ground. The 2 cups blending. Major Arcana card of divine timing. You'd think it would be the Magician because it's called the Alchemist. But it's the alchemical blend. You know, it's hitting that right balance so that poof, the thing happens. It turns to gold. In alchemy, that's the aim. You know, the science of hitting that right combination. It brings, you know, it has the potential in divine timing, if that right combination is achieved, to be this kind of combination. You know, it's as card of home, family, legacy. King of Swords, I'm getting the feeling, might be changing their mind, sword energy. And in the process of doing that, 4 of Pentacles, and then they, you know, in order to change their mind, they're kind of going to ground, not wanting the influence of all these other wands. You know, it's sort of like, clear the rum. I've got to think about this. I need some time. Because right now I'm all defensive, I'm hot. You know, I don't know, flight or fight, basically. That whole business of do I run away or do I engage in this battle? And I think there's a sense that, you know, if this person waits it out, they'll figure it out. King of Swords is very smart and is willing to, in some ways, face the music, you know, look at a situation and try to figure it out, try to analyze it by pulling back, by not using the sword as a weapon. Words may have been weaponized in this relationship in the past. There may have been a real clash that hurt both parties. Three of Swords. But there is a suggestion, once the defense mechanism, that flight or fight or freeze mechanism is waited out, you know, enough time has passed, this is a possibility. Temperance also speaks to tempo, you know, to time. And I'm getting like, almost in this situation, the heart is going boom, 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 because the person feels defensive. They're really triggered. And over time, there's healing and an opening and a chance to blend. There may have been conflict with the family. With some important connection, maybe a particular family member. I don't know about you, Memorial Day, everybody comes to my hometown. You know, it's a seasonal town for a lot of people, seasonal. That people come and go to, go from, you know, it's a back and forth energy. And those of us who stay, you know, for whom this is home, need to adjust to that. They're here and now they're gone. They're here and now they're gone. Okay, I was going to ask, what does that mean? World card. Last card in the Major Arcana. Let's get some more, because just by itself, I don't quite know how to read it. I had an idea this morning about World card, but let's see. Okay. We have a few, and a deck that just feels chaotic to me. Oh, well, that's what I was thinking about this morning. I had talked about this as being the chaos because it looks so unorganized to me. In traditional Rider-Waite, there's a very clearly defined portal in World card and an invitation to step through. This always looks really chaotic to me. I had this card for months before I saw the old lady kind of bending over it. Again, suggesting time and stages of life. 10 of Pentacles. Years invested in a place or a group of people. And again, there's that place element, that card of migration. Because this implies a certain steadiness and fixity. You know, we've always gone home. And then we've left again, which can be very healthy. In any relationship, to have the freedom to come and go. But what I was thinking about this morning was, I kept talking about this yesterday as the chaos. And this morning it occurred to me, if I were just talking to to you and not throwing tarot and getting into this tarot language, I'd call this a shitstorm. That kind of chaos, that in order to get through to the next stage, there might be a feeling of having to fight your way through. And being exhausted. Some sort of shitstorm. And yet, there's the whole world awaits on the other side of this. And life itself on the globe isn't a homogeneous thing. It is a chaotic thing. But there's such elements of sweetness in this. The poppy, again, seasonal to my mind. The old lady, the sort of end stage, which gets very sweet, where, every season is precious. Every time somebody you love returns to you, or you to them. And it reawakens us out of this Four of Swords resting place. Okay, on World card, in that continuing saga of the stages of life and the shit show. Two of Cups. I think it's sort of like welcome to the monkey house. I have a button that says welcome to the shit show. And that just really resonated with me because it's sort of an invitation to life. The idea that we wait until it gets homogeneous and peaceful and smooth is a thing. There is divine timing. There is peace on the other side. But it's like, get into the mix in that enter the battle, enter the fray, get in the mix. Two of Cups. I mean, that's a lover's connection in minor arcana. On the other side of this portal, this shit show, this chaos, or perhaps right within it, you find this beautiful, precious connection that's blossoming, where each one is, it's like the clinking of the cups. It's like, here's looking at you, kid. Casablanca, if you haven't seen it, you should rent it. Justice, a card of balance. I mean, it's always going to be both the sublime and the ridiculous in any relationship. That's part of the, that's like the price of admission. And continually having to recalibrate the relationship, Justice, this to that. Both of you. If you want the Two of Cups, you have to recalibrate. And it's a sword energy card, Justice. Like this. Like Four of Swords. Like Lovers. A card of Gemini, of the twins. Just to, catch us up, we have Sagittarius, Libra, Gemini, Capricorn, Aquarius, and the awakening, which I see as sort of a back to life, maybe even scorpionic energy, the transition. And I had on the board, and it's been on here a long time, but I'm noticing it again. It says world, the great teacher, Saturn. It's ruled by Saturn, the Lord of Karma. Have we learned the lesson so that we can, learn the lesson through the chaos, through the shit show. That's what teaches us. You know, when everything's smooth, it may teach us something too, this kind of peace. You know, peace, I'm home. I made it home. I homed in on something. And there's life there, renewed life after the battle, Four of Swords. It's pretty cohesive, this reading. Okay, we got 4 more. 10 of Cups. I mean, speaks for itself. Lovers, 2 of Cups, 10 of Cups. Look at these guys. You know, it's sort of the ultimate embrace through all the iterations of love, which sometimes are, I will tolerate your obnoxious, the way you drive, that drives me crazy. You're always pumping the brake. What's the, you know, I'm a backseat driver. I want to drive once in a while. Whatever it is that is the price of admission to this kind of long-lasting, I'll love you through all the stages. Through all the stages. There's a, that's really strong here. Through the coming and the going. When the tide is in, when the tide is out. You know, when love is easy, when love is hard. When I'm triggered by it, when I'm exhausted by it. Okay, I'm supposed to clarify, yeah, 9 of Wands. 4 of Cups. You know, this is sort of like when love isn't there, when it's only there in my heart. You know, not, I mean, there are these 3 spilled over. Are they still standing? Hang on, I just have to check it. It's funny, you can't see. I always assumed in traditional Rider-Waite there are 3 spilled and 1 being offered. Here there are no spilled, at least not that I can see. All this character can see is the Ace of Cups, the potential. It's not there, but they're, you know, they're envisioning it. And I think they're, they, you, them, whomever is hanging in for the possibility of this Ace of Cups. You know, kind of, I'll hang on, making me want to cry. I'll hang on till my last breath. I will not give up. Seven of Wands. What happens to the guarded position? Queen of Swords, right next to King of Swords. I think these 2 got into it and hurt each other, and their words were weaponized, and it was kind of like, you know, some sort of argument where they're like butting heads, sword energy. And maybe both of them were behaving like butt heads. I don't know. But they triggered each other, and words were spoken, words were weaponized. Okay, on 10 of Cups, Ace of Wands. You know, it could be we're right at the beginning of building or building back this 10 of Cups kind of trust. You know, your beloved, who you feel safe with, who you feel at home with. Pentacles, can we bring this back to life? You know, back to life. There's an opportunity for that. There's an opportunity for that. Maybe even if one of you left, you know, somebody had enough. They felt too wounded, too tired. They were, you know, holding out hope for this this love that they only remembered. I don't think anybody threw in the towel. We have this Ten of Wands, the kind of piece of the retreat, of the monk, you know, in the monastery, clarifying lovers. But here we have the Ace of Wands, the new beginning. That cycle completed. Now we have a fresh start. A fresh start. This is a cohesive read, and I think a very optimistic read for these characters. And it might not speak to your situation. You might not be ready yet, or healed yet, or healed enough to ever want to engage this person again. It's always our choice and their choice. But in this reading, it's leaning heavily toward the idea that there is a possibility for truce. Five of Swords. That's a card of the battle, the engagement. But in this deck, it's a card of breaking out of that. This person is passing through the sword block. You know, almost as if they can, they're just not contained in it anymore. In Rider-Waite, it also, Five of Swords, shows somebody leaving the field, not fighting anymore. You know, I'm not going to engage in this battle. A lot of sword energy here. This can be a message, a text, a partial truth. This person is looking through a slit in the visor, like the knight that has the little place they can peek out of their armored, you know. I think this person, I mean, you both engaged in battle. Some kind of truth was spoken, I think, by whoever is represented by Queen of Swords. And I think that's you, the one who calls the code, or you know, also can set a boundary. You know, if you're not going to tell me the truth, if you're going to weaponize your words, I'm turning my back, because the way it's out on the table, she has her back to King of Swords. And there may have been a necessary timeout where everything could calm down from this, you know, fiery place of Seven of Wands. And I think there will be that opening of divine timing, that ability to recalibrate the chaos. You know, this connection is worth it. Pentacles energy of so much value. Temperance, a card of making peace. So let's see what the message is, and then we'll, oh boy, it's getting long again. What does this Knight of Swords have to say? I'm glad I stuck in to go on a little further, like the Nine of Wands person. It might be I want to marry you. There's certainly something about a higher commitment. I've consulted with my deepest self and found a truth. In sword energy, again. You know, I want to tell the truth. And the truth includes, I was triggered, so were you. We had a fight, we had to heal, we had to wait for divine timing. We had to wrap up a cycle of how we used to do this lover's connection. We may have had to walk away and come back for the second chance. The card of awakening, of judgment, isn't about the first chance. It's about the second chance. It's about beginning again. Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords. It's about truth and clarity and speaking your mind. These two need to come back together, at least for an important conversation. And I think it's for more than that. Justice, the relationship. World card, the next stage. 2 of Cups. Temperance, peace, and the blend. Lovers, the connection. Awakening or judgment, the new life. The card of leaving and return. Okay, I think this is a great reading. It's not without its conflict, but it suggests walking away from conflict for the new beginning, for the 10 of Cups. Everybody has a choice in this, though. You know, do we follow through? It looks good, though. It really does. Happy Memorial Day. Thanks to the ancestors for bringing through this reading, because it's brilliant. The ancestors are on board. The ancestors are rooting for us, always, for our highest good. And so am I. I'll see you next time.